welcome back. For any longtime viewers of my channel, you may have noticed my affinity for Bosphorus cymbals. When I was a young high school drummer diving into jazz, I always dreamed of playing the same cymbals as some of my favorite drummers, like Jeff Hamilton and Stan Moore. Throughout high school and college, I was able to save up and slowly assemble a collection of these beautiful cymbals, and in 2013, just before I left college to go on tour with the Glenn Miller Orchestra, I was fortunate enough to sign on as an artist with Bosphorus. In 2014, I was lucky enough to visit the Bosphorus factory in Istanbul, Turkey, while ported on a cruise ship I was working on. Seeing the process and small business feel of this company really took my admiration for these instruments to another level. At this point, almost 10 years into my relationship with them, I've collected dozens of great cymbals, and every year or two I end up putting in an order to try new product lines and expand my palette of sonic options for recording and performing. A couple of weeks ago, I put in an order for 3 new cymbals, and I thought I'd showcase them in this video here. It never ceases to amaze me, but somehow they find a way to get these cymbals from their factory in Istanbul to my doorstep in Wisconsin in just a matter of 3 to 4 days. As soon as they were delivered, I took them downstairs to my studio to open them up and get my first look at my new cymbals. The first piece I picked out was an 18-inch Turk FX Crash. The next cymbal in this order was a 20-inch Syncopation Sand-Washed Ride, and finally, a 21-inch 1600 era Ride. After getting a little time in playing these cymbals, I made sure to set up some microphones and get a proper demo recorded, so I'll let you take a listen to that next, and then I'll come back to let you know my thoughts about these new cymbals. So after taking some time to get to know these cymbals, I think my description of them would be unique. When I decided to place this order, I knew I already had plenty of great cymbals, so if I was going to add more options to the color palette, I wanted to make sure they'd stand out, meaning I needed some more extreme options. I think this is most clear with the FX Crash. Alone, I think it sounds rather harsh and piercing, more than any of my other crashes. But when it's played with the entire kit, it blends really well. I feel like it gets a lot of attack, but gets right out of the way with an extremely quick decay. The Syncopation Ride also has a trashier sound, but can also be played a little more gracefully. I really enjoy this one visually, and it seems to be in line with what a lot of cymbal companies are offering with their more modern sounds. My favorite cymbal in the whole lot has to be this 1600 era ride. When I saw this line introduced, I was immediately enamored by the beautiful lathing and simple branding. It seems like every company has a line of cymbals these days that are a throwback to the older cymbals of the 50s and 60s with minimal branding and going for that old K sound. And I think with this series, Bosphorus nailed it. I surely expect these cymbals to adapt and mature over the next few years, but for now, I already like what I hear, and I'm excited to have these in my arsenal. I can't speak more highly about my experience using Bosphorus cymbals. For most cymbal companies, you'll find each cymbal of the same model to be almost identical, and in many situations, that's a great goal. With Bosphorus, it's a bit different though, and each cymbal really has its own unique fingerprint and identity. Additionally, all of the team I've worked with have been extremely gracious and hospitable to me anytime I've reached out with questions or when placing an order. If you have stories to share about your experience with Bosphorus cymbals, I'd love to hear about it, so leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date on future video releases. Until next time, thanks.